Dzień dobry lub dobry wieczór, w zależności od tego, kiedy Państwo będziecie oglądać ten materiał. To kolejny odcinek programu IT Reseller Liderzy Branży. Moim i Państwa gościem jest dzisiaj Leutner, Head of European Platform Business w Fujitsu. I mam przyjemność porozmawiać z Christianem o tym, jak zmienia się strategia Fujitsu, jak odpowiada ta firma na potrzeby rynkowe oraz jak buduje swój ekosystem partnerski, który jest jednym z ważnych elementów tego, co Fujitsu chce robić w Europie i w szczególności też w Polsce, bo to nas najbardziej interesuje. Rozmowę przeprowadzimy po angielsku, bo Christian niestety nie mówi po polsku, ale myślę, że to nie będzie dla Państwa problem. Hello Christian, thank you for being with us.
Hello, I'm Leutner. I'm heading the European Platform Business and I'm very happy to be here in Poland today with you and having this very interesting interview.
I would like to start with asking you how has the Fujitsu strategy changed over the last years and last quarters on the European market, and what are the changes that are most important, especially here in the CE region, from your perspective?
So, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here in Poland today with the partner days and to learn from our partners and customers. And this leads me to answering your question. And I think I would start by saying that our strategy doesn't change every year. So actually, the strategy that we are still pursuing is valid. Probably we started doing this 3 years ago. It's called data-driven transformation strategy. And more than ever, I think that resonates very well in the market. We are basically building our transformation or the transformational process that we're living in Fujitsu around that strategy. So it's not the strategy changing, but it's actually rather us behaving and changing to execute on the strategy. Data-driven transformation strategy to us means a lot. Basically, let me say 4 pillars that this strategy consists of. First of all, it's the offering, the portfolio itself. If we talk about data-driven or being generally data-driven, we mean technologies like hybrid IT, SAP, as well things like quantum computing, high-performance computing, and obviously as well, basically storage or computing as such, where we as Fujitsu do have a lot of technologies in this area. Services, solutions, but as well hardware solutions that we're offering here. And this is the portfolio that is really important because that's what we are seen for as Fujitsu. We're a technology provider. We have this image in the markets, and of course we are leveraging this, and we want to continue investing into R&D and into technology as a proof point that we can actually be helping our partners, our customers with creating their business outcomes. The second pillar would be our people. And I'm not talking only about Fujitsu people, but as well specifically about our extended arms into the market, which are our partners. And this is very, very important to us. We need people who are in a position to actually consult our customers, who are trusted advisors by our customers. We have great customer relationships with our customers, but specifically with our partners. Over 80% of our business actually already goes through partners, goes indirectly, and we want to actually further extend this. So I think that's a clear signal that we're really, relying on our partners to help us as an extended arm to our customers, be consultative, trusted advisors. For this, we need the right people. We need people with the right skills. We need, of course, we need to invest in our people. We need to train people. We need to train people at the partner side. We all know that there is a war of talent out there. It's very difficult to find people that are experts in security, that are experts in cloud, that are experts in AI. So that's an important point to be aware of. And we need to continue investing into people, because Fujitsu as a company strategically is moving away from pure features and benefits of hardware into being a genuine consultant to our customers when it comes to creating our customers' business outcomes. This is the strategy in one sentence. The third pillar is the ecosystem itself. So we know that we cannot do what we're trying to do and serving all those different areas, hybrid IT, AI, compute, and so on, just by our own IP, our own people. We need the ecosystem. And if I say ecosystem, I mean, of course, sales partners, but as well specifically strategic partners, technology partners, ISVs. This is an ecosystem that we're trying to leverage. We cannot do this alone as Fujitsu. This is very clear. And the fourth part, as a platform business, where at the end of the day, of course, we're selling servers and storage and solutions, we as well are investing a lot into services. So we are really seeing that on-prem infrastructure services is an area where we have a lot of expertise, where we have a lot of good people, where there is a lot of demand in the market, and that's a business that actually complements our portfolio nicely. So these are the four pillars for Fujitsu strategically. Sorry for the long answer.
No, that's it was long but very meaningful in what you've said. But while you were talking, I was also wondering, because you've said that the strategy is like for 3 years now. It's very clear, and the direction you're heading into is very clear. But during those last 3 years, we've seen many disruptions, many events occurred that are perceived as challenges for the IT market and for every company that's active on this market. So I believe, I suppose so, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're also adjusting your actions, maybe not your strategy, but your tactics to the challenges all of the market faces today. And I would like to ask you, what are those challenges that you see, and what are the measures to overcome them and to tackle them?
This is so true what you're saying. I mean, when I'm saying the strategy is unchanged, it's really about the basic, strategic outlook that we have as Fujitsu. But the real challenge is to adapt quickly to the different needs of the market and of our customers and partners. And you're right, there's a lot of change. I mean, I don't know where to start, and probably don't have the time to cover it all today, but if you start from the geopolitical problems that we're all seeing, then as well to the digitalization, that is a big buzzword in the industry since quite some time. I think this is moving now into more topics that are focused around sustainability, and then of course AI, right? These are, I think, some of the buzzwords, some of the topics that of course we need to have answers to. And we as Fujitsu, we are constantly investing into solutions that help our ecosystem and our customers to develop the right answers to these questions, the right solutions. We might not be in a position to give answers to all the different areas, but I do see an evolution of this discussion, and I do see more and more offerings and actual portfolio coming out of these conversations. Some of them will still take time, like quantum computing. This will take time until we have offerings that we can actually offer to the market. But other things like in AI, we already have as Fujitsu quite a lot of interesting approaches that are about to be marketed as well. To name one, the Kozuchi, which is our AI platform, which is something that we have been developing in Japan, which provides our customers with the potential tools to analyze, find out what kind of AI they need to solve their problems, to generate business outcomes for them in the different areas. I think the other interesting aspect here is the different verticals that we're looking at, different necessities of people in automotive or in the financial sector, or even in public sector. And we need to be as well adapting to those different necessities here. And in the end of the day, I think we have quite interesting solutions when it comes to niches. Just yesterday, I had a very interesting discussion when it comes to forensics with a partner like Nuix. software where we are building solutions together that help our customers to specifically in this niche market to develop further, to find solutions, because cybersecurity is a big topic, security as such is a big topic, and we are developing constantly new solutions in these areas. So again, all these changes in the market are substantial. They need to be adapted. We need to be quick. We have the capabilities, we have the experts, so we are in a good position. I do believe that we as a technology vendor as well, have the access to the market to provide this, but we just need to be quick and as well ready to constantly adapt to those changes. And that's the challenge, right? Because once you develop one thing, there's already the next evolution or evolutionary step necessary, and you need to be constantly investing and constantly in this. So again, we need to generate this expertise, but we need other partners and other people to help us with the best possible solution.
You've started to answering my next question a little bit, because you've mentioned that the product and services portfolio will change in the future. Fujitsu's portfolio will change. You've mentioned AI, which is a very hot topic right now. You've mentioned quantum computing, which is also maybe not as hot, but very promising technology that is under development right now. But what more changes, more important changes do you foresee for the Fujitsu's portfolio in the upcoming years?
So let me just, again, we're not having time to discuss all the different technology areas, but let me pick up one very important trend or topic, which is hybrid IT. We actually span, as Fujitsu, the whole variety of behaviors that you might have in this area. So there are certain customers who would go 100% to the cloud, right? And earlier the better, right? And we do have a multi-cloud offering when it comes to our Fujitsu services, which is, something that is as well a clear strategic direction from our services colleagues to go for multi-cloud solutions and to offer this to our customers. At the same time, we do have customers who actually have already been in the cloud and sometimes are moving back for certain reasons, even because of for financial reasons, for security reasons, and we do have an offering as well for these customers, because we do have an on-prem offering which allows us to help our customers to have an on-prem solution, but we do as well help in the transition from either on-prem to cloud or back from cloud to on-prem. So that's a bit the beauty of the Fujitsu offering, that we can really cover all of these necessities. So I think in the end, the market is actually moving more and more to the cloud, for sure. There is a lot of customers who are not yet there, which need some support to getting there. We are here for them. But as well for those customers who might decide to, for certain reasons, come back or stay on an on-prem solution, we're here to support them as well. So I think this is where when it comes to hybrid IT, I think Fujitsu has specifically a very good solution stack to offer to our customers. And I do believe it's really important to assess this. And the other topic is public cloud versus private cloud. We do have, an understanding for both sides. And then again, depending on the necessities of our customers, we can consult on what the right step is for this as well. So, I think it's quite a full offering that we can offer, and it's something that we will investigate further, and where we are partnering with, the known players in this market to come to the best possible solution.
You've described a little bit the needs of the businesses you're working with the corporate clients you work with in terms, for example, moving to the cloud or moving back from the cloud to the on-premise environment. And you've also mentioned that those needs and those challenges and those outcomes that businesses are wanting to achieve, they may differ between the countries in the European market. You have this perspective for the whole European area, yes, as a chief of a European platform business at Fujitsu. So here in Poland, we are mostly interested in the CE region and in our country. What do you think about the differences between our situation and our move to the cloud, for example, and our needs when it comes to hybrid IT versus Western Europe?
So there is clear differences, that's for sure. So you could perhaps divide Europe, if this is possible at all, into three areas, right? If you look at the northwestern approach to the cloud, I think there's we can say it's most advanced, right? Because they actually dare to go to the cloud 100%. They do not have those data protection requirements that people like Germany or countries like Germany would see, where I would say there is more conscious or a bit more how can I say that they move to the cloud a bit later, a bit more carefully. And then in Southern Europe, you would have an approach that is a bit more, looking at the financial benefits from moving to the cloud or not. So it's actually quite different country by country how this is perceived and how this is done. In the end of the day, I think the topic in general, what I said before, trying not to repeat myself, is the same in the end for everybody. Whether to move to the cloud, I think the question is really when to move to the cloud and in which form, depending on your necessities. And this is the same for everybody. But of course, there's flavors to the different regions. Yeah.
And what's the flavor for the CE you've mentioned?
CE stands for Central Europe and Eastern Europe. So this would include, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, yes, and the Eastern European countries. I would say there's quite a security, data protection centric view on the cloud. And this is as well influencing a lot how fast people are moving into the cloud in this area. Okay,
and because we are talking during the Fujitsu Partner Day, so I just simply must ask you about the role of partners in this whole ecosystem and the changes you've described, their role in the strategy of Fujitsu you've described, and those four pillars. You've mentioned that ecosystem, including a wide range of partners is one of the pillars of the strategy. But when it comes to resellers, distributors, what's their role in adapting to the changes and the challenges you've mentioned and addressing the market in order to create the business outcomes for the clients at the end of the day?
That's a very good question. And this is really tricky in a sense that, of course, if you talk specifically distributors, or specific box moving partners, we are of course continuing to have transactional business, so moving hardware through those partners into the market, but we are actually trying to build an ecosystem of partners that can add more value, that can complement our solutions better. So we need to do both things, and that's a bit of a dilemma, right? We continue needing to have the economies of scale. We need to produce certain volumes so that we are competitive on the cost side. At the same time, we are not playing, we do not want to become number one in the market when it comes to revenue and volume, to be very clear. We want to provide a value to our customers through our partners. So I think for both of us, it is really important to complement each other. So while we are still in need of distribution and partners who help us with transacting our hardware into the market, at the same time we need to complement this hardware to build solutions, services that really resonate and bring benefit to our customers. So again, business outcomes, because this is where I see the future. If it's just about pure features, benefits, price discussion, I don't think Fujitsu in future will be, the best suited partner. It will always be vendors who might be able to sell a piece of hardware at a lower price, but then of course with less potential for the partner to generate margin, to generate what customers are interested in, and to secure then their future business. So that potential is something that we need to generate together. And this is why, let me take an example. We've just announced in Europe that we will exit the PC, notebook, and display market. So those devices, those what we call client devices, is a business that is very transactional. It's very much based on features and benefits. It's very difficult for Fujitsu to differentiate and to generate, a cost advantage or even a technology advantage, because this is commodities. And we have decided strategically to move away from this market so that we're able to focus fully on our data center portfolio, solutions and services. And I do believe that, of course, there will be certain partners, let's make no mistake, that then move away from us because they are specialized in clients. And obviously, this is not the future that we foresee for Fujitsu. We want really to execute on our strategy and focus on data center solutions and services. And this means that we just need to take painful decisions. And this is one of these. But this demonstrates as well that we're really executing on our strategy to become a data-driven, transformational company generating business outcomes for our customers in those areas that I described before: hybrid IT, AI, quantum computing, and so on. So we need to be credible. And for this, we need to take certain decisions. We cannot just offer the full shop and say, we just focus on this piece. We are really walking the talk. It's a bit of a bet because, of course, some partners will leave us because of this. But we're really counting on those partners that go together with us on the journey, on the data center journey. And that's perhaps a bit less number of people, but it's going to be a more value-oriented conversation, and it's going to create opportunities and potential for the partner, for us, but specifically for the customer.
Okay, so to wrap up this conversation and this very fascinating interview, I must say, I would like to ask you to forecast a little bit. You've mentioned future and development a lot today, but I would like to talk specific. Fujitsu and its ecosystem in 5 years' time. How it will look like in this period, like in 2028. And you've mentioned, for example, that you're generating 80% of your business via partners, and what that number you think will be in 5 years' time, and what your portfolio will look like, and what's the perspective here?
So, of course, in our industry, it's always a very tricky question to ask, what will this look like in 5 years from now? I think both of us will probably not, we are not in a position to say how this is going to look like. But let's be a bit anticipating.
Try to forecast.
Trying to predict a bit what is happening. Let's start from the channel landscape. I think those channel partners who are only transactional will struggle. So in 5 years from now, I think every partner needs to have either a niche or some other kind of focus where they can add specific value to the market. So I think the partner landscape needs to, same as us, needs to continuously transform. They cannot continue as it is today. That would be my first prediction. So the partner landscape will change. There will be more specialization. There will be more focus on those technologies that I talked about. And those will survive and they will excel over those who are purely transactional. At the same time, I think, the value of the partners will increase, of these partners will increase. So if you're asking me whether 80% or whatever, I mean, probably being here, I should say 100% is the target. And why not? Why not? I mean, this is not a strategic decision to say certain percentage needs to be direct and the other indirect. I think, why not 100% indirect? Now, of course, in reality, there are certain things in public sector or in certain areas where there will still be this direct connection. But we're having one thing in the channel business, in the Fujitsu channel business, that we call regional sales managers. So even though there is a direct connection with the customer between Fujitsu as vendor and the customer, I think this will even be more important in the future. Still, the business is transacted through the partner, because in the end, the partner is part of the ecosystem. And not as a, let me say, as a financial transaction, but actually adding value to the solution stack. And this is where I see the partner landscape having a great future. And that's why I would say, I mean, come on, let's say it, in 5 years we're going to be 100% indirect. And again, why not, right? When it comes to technology, this is more difficult to predict. Developments are so fast. I'm not an engineer, so I'm not an expert. But you know, I think topics like the evolution of computing. Let's take again the example of quantum. I think probably in 5 years from now, we will probably still not have a marketable, you know, for the broad market, an offering in terms of quantum computing. This is something that is still so volatile, so fragile, that it will take probably more than 5 years. And 5 years probably we'll still be talking about this being an opportunity. There's other areas like AI. We're already now seeing the evolution. I think in 5 years from now, the question will rather be, or will we have solutions in the market that help us managing data much better? So with AI, with IoT, with Edge, right? We have a lot of sensors out there. We have a lot of data out there that is creating a lot of CO2 emission as well. So we need to, and there's a lot of waste, right? A lot of data that are not used. So I think we'll see solutions coming up where this is going to be properly managed, where we're going to see, in the best sense of sustainability, we're going to see sustainable solutions. And Fujitsu as well is, you know, we're talking digital transformation, but we're talking as well about sustainability transformation. And this probably will become, in 5 years, there will be much more there for us to go after than what we see today. And then, you know, we talk extensively about hybrid IT. Probably we're going to see more people in the cloud in 5 years from now, but not everybody. Still not in 5 years, there will not be everybody on the cloud. So I think this mix of hybrid IT, or hybrid IT as a topic will remain. The mix of on-prem and solutions in the cloud will persist, will sustain. So that would be my prediction.
Okay, so I hope we will talk in 5 years and we can go back on those predictions and check which were right and in which there is some still things to do. Thank you very much, Christian, for this conversation.
Looking forward to this.
For your insights. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.